let's talk about relationships, okay? Best thing to do in terms of relationship is not to jump into one. I know a lot of guys, a lot of girls, they want to jump. They're like, oh my God, it's a fantasy. Let me jump into this relationship. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you want to make sure you jump into the relationship knowing how the other person is and understanding, knowing or seeing red flags before you jump into a relationship with the other person. I think that will cause a lot of, less issues down the road, less heartbreak down the road. You want to be able to see red flags. What are red flags? There's many, if you look online, there's going to be many different types of things you can be able to see, but it just differs. Some of these red flags, some people can be able to differentiate them and be like, you know what, I can, not everybody's perfect out there, so I can be able to deal with those red flags. I can deal with those type of issues that person has, right? And some other ones are like, this is no-go for me. I can't deal with this. This is going to be an issue. If the other person is not willing to grow and work on those issues that they have, then this is no-go. But if the other person is willing to work on those issues that they have and putting in the time, putting the effort to make things work out, then, of course you want to put reconsideration in regards to that. But make sure you evaluate the relationship, see how it goes. For me personally, I was in a relationship and I kind of let my emotions take over very fast with the person I was with. I think after about a month of dating, I moved in with her and we lived for several months. But even before moving in with her, I saw some red flags that were there. Even when I talked to friends that were not biased towards like, hey, you're the perfect guy, blah, blah, blah. I went to people that were unbiased in terms of taking my side, and they were like, yeah, that's a red flag right there. That's another red flag. And I saw those things, but I kind of, let my emotions take the best of me. So you want to make sure that you don't move in as fast as you want in terms of a relationship, because it's going to be very hard. Why does it make it very hard? Because if you move in with somebody, this scenario, the situation, the environment that you're in is very hard to get out of it. Okay, you got to move out, and depending on who do you move into. If you're moving into her place, depending on how she is, she might be more controlative. I know mine was very controlative, and it was just very interesting. And I worked with those type of things. I was very coming together and working with whatever things that she wanted with wherever she was living, her environment. But you got to keep in mind as well that the other person that you're wanting to live with, have they lived with other people before you, right? I know people, even friends of mine, that don't want to live with anybody else. They want to live by themselves. And when somebody else moves in with them, even though they love them, they still kind of feel this kind of urge or the sensation to feel a little bit uncomfortable, okay? Maybe not as, I don't want to say safe, but there's different things with it. There's different emotions that are placed in the back of the mind that come out in a different way that the other person may not know. So, take your time in terms of, the relationship. Don't move in quickly. Understand the other person, understand their personality, understand the red flags that might come up. If those bother you, can you be able to work on those things for both you and the other person? Or if they're not willing to work out those issues they have, are you willing to deal with them? And that's about it, guys. Take your time. What are some core values that you have that in life, right? Maybe that you want in another person. Maybe those core values are volunteering. Maybe those core values are becoming financially free. Okay, I know a lot of relationships, they have a problem with money and how they spend money, and that's fine. But you got to be able to understand how to communicate better in terms of that, and how to financially agree upon how money is spent. And if that person you're wanting to get into a relationship with, do you foresee yourself being married with that person or having a long-term relationship with that person, or is that like a temporary type of thing? I think thinking in that type of aspect also helps in terms of preventing heartbreak or emotional problems later on. For maybe not you, maybe the other person. I know a lot of times like, well, I'm not gonna have problems, I can break up. Well, think about the other person as well and how they're gonna feel, right? You want to be able to put both of you guys in consideration in terms of relationship. I think a lot of times in a relationship, it sometimes goes one-sided, either a man or a female. Let's say, for example, a female might say, well, a man is supposed to support me and cover me and all that. That's true. A man is supposed to be supportive of you in several other ways. As a woman is supposed to be supportive of a man in several other ways, right? It has to work, side by side. It has to work. It's not a one-way street. It's a two-way street in terms of relationship, in terms of marriage. Both people have to support each other, whatever the case might be. And it cannot be leaning one side more than the other, because the other person is going to resent the other person. It's like, well, you know what? I had to do all this for you in my life. I couldn't really live my life the way I wanted to. I couldn't achieve the thing. So there's many other issues that come up later on with that. So you want to make sure that you're both supporting each other in the relationship. You both have similar goals, whatever the case might be, or maybe not similar goals, but whatever type of goals you both have, they can be supportive of each other on reaching them. Okay, I think that a relationship, that's what it's all about. Is two people helping each other grow within life, either in a psychological, emotional type of manner, or another aspect in terms of maybe growing in a career or whatever the case might be. You want to have a person that is there for you, to support you, for both people. Okay, so anyways, that's about it, guys. That's kind of like in a nutshell what to look for. I hope this was very insightful for you. If you have any questions, please post them below. If there's any personal questions, please message me, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Please press the subscribe and like button as well, and I hope we can be able to see you in the next video.